الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم.
Yo, 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 what's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? Hey, let me know if let me know if y'all can hear me. Let's make that. Let's take care of that business. Y'all can hear me. What up? Jubilations of Jamie, Michael Renee, aka Michael the Great. Michael, how you ain't get what I was saying? I was saying that the body is in space, not the physical body, but all the space is our body. And so therefore, that's what you would feel. It's like an etheric body. Or you know how the solar system has rings, like the path going around. Ooh, that's a good one. I gotta find that PowerPoint. The planets going around the sun and stuff. Well, those rings, like an atom, when you look at an atom and it has rings, the electron rings, those rings are infinite throughout space. And then where the planets are born, that is a cosmic atom. When we are born and where the planet is at, that creates this cosmic atom. And then when somebody else is born and they got the same energy, then it creates an ionic bond. Oh man, I'm gonna have to show y'all that. I had to show y'all that. I had to show y'all that. What up, though? What's happening, everybody? Happy Friday. Oh shit, my brother Yusef in the building. What up? What up? What up? What's good, bro? Man. All right, man. Y'all know the rules, man. What Khalid at, man? Khalid is the one who get you done around here. You know? Where brother Khalid at? He ain't here yet. Let me load up this PowerPoint. Let me load up this clip. Boop. Man, let me get that banner off of there real fast. What is that? All right, there we go. Man, I ain't got my man Khaled ain't here yet. All right, where we at on time? All right. So, look, healing the Quran. Healing the heart with the Holy Qur'an, right? Man, let's just get straight into it, man. Let's get straight into it. All right, so we have to know that the top cause of death on this entire planet is cardiovascular disease. Period. Some years it's double the second cause of death. Okay? Because double 17 is 34. We had 31 in 2017. Some years it's double. So this is not in the United States. This is all over the planet Earth. All right. So it is safe to say that something that we may be doing is killing the heart. All right. So the Quran comes off and says, listen, O mankind, there has come to you instruction from your Lord in healing for what is in the breast, and guidance and mercy for the believers. This is deep, because you saying that somehow, some way, this instruction is going to serve as a healing for the heart, for what's in the breast. Trust me, it's talking about the heart, and I'm gonna show it later. This guidance and instruction is a guidance in the heart, right? Or healing for the heart, right? How? But please understand the word believer. Belief is the number one thing you have to have when you are dealing with what's known as a placebo. The placebo says, hey, we're going to give you this cure for cancer. This new drug came out, guaranteed to get rid of cancer. They take the drug, the cancer is gone. When the cancer is gone, they be like, psych, it wasn't even a real drug. It was just sugar water. This is documented. One of the best works on this is called You Are the Placebo by Dr. Joe Dispenza. You are the placebo. Your mind, I dare say, the mind is the heart. I know I'm gonna have a little bit of pushback on that. The mind is the heart. Yes, the brain is the apparatus. The brain is the staff sergeant. He ain't the captain. Trust when I tell you that. All right. He's taking orders, and I'm gonna show you where it's taking orders from. But when the mind is in a state of belief, all things become possible. So the prerequisite for any of this faith that we have is belief. Belief, belief, belief. Okay. All right. So it's this Quran, it says, hey, this is some healing in the heart for you. So now let's look at a study. I'm gonna cite my source. You can go to the National Library of Medicine. Islamic praying changes stress-related hormones and genes. I've showed this before in a previous dissertation, right? Let me blow this up on my side so I can see it. So studies suggest that Arabic prayers, particularly salat, can help reduce stress by influencing stress-related hormones and genes. Some research indicates that prayer can increase, listen to this, increase cortisol levels, which is stress chemicals, in individuals with lower than normal cortisol, while decreasing it in those with higher than normal cortisol. Right? Additionally, studies have shown a positive correlation between prayer and life satisfaction, suggesting that prayer can help mitigate the negative impact of job stress. So, as the second paragraph, hormonal and genetic effects, says that prayer is having an effect on the expression of genes IL-6, which is a gene that deals with inflammation, and BDNF. Well, BDNF, that you see at the bottom, provides instruction for creating brain-derived neurotropic factors, protein, which is essential for neuronal survival, aka brain cells, neurons, brain cells, okay? Which is essential for brain cell survival, growth, and function, particularly at the synapses. Now, I should have showed you what is a synapses. A synapses is you got thoughts in your mind that look like trees, and then they collect like hands. They connect to one another, and then they form a bond on the thing that you're thinking. So this is your trauma. It's somewhere in your mind. Anyway, right? When you thinking there's somewhere in your mind, you're fetching it. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Oh, every time you think about this, it excites a certain group of brain cells that are wired together. Yes. So it just ain't one cell that's doing the work. No, this cell joins with this cell and joins with this, and then they form a big conglomeration in our minds, literally in our brain. Okay. So at this joining point is very critical. Okay. So now the Quran is having the prayer is having some type of effect inside of, if we want to say this mind, the mind's eye, literally, where the brain cells are connecting. Okay. All right. So verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. This is going to become important. Remember this. Verily, in the remembrance of Allah do the hearts find rest. Okay, here's another one. For indeed, it is not the eyes that grow blind, but it is the hearts within the breasts that grow blind. Wait a minute. Are you implying that the heart has eyes? There you go. What up, bro? Look. No, that's Khalil. What up? What peace to you, though? Look, what are you saying here? Are you really implying? And to see, this is what I'll be saying when I be going to the cook, but like, well, you know what I mean? I swear I only be hearing about dunya, which is the world, charity, and hellfire. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the heart, are you implying that the heart has eyes? Right? So let me bring that back. For indeed, it is not the eyes that grow blind, but it is the hearts within the breast that grow blind. You know what science is going to tell us? Let's look at this. Let's take our time with this because this is heavy. Start at the very top. This is from Heart Math Institute. Researchers have discovered that the heart possesses a complex intrinsic nervous system, a little brain of about 40,000 cells. So the heart has its own brain system, okay? Own nervous system. In experiments evolving emotional stimuli, the heart was found to respond before the brain, before the brain, in some cases indicating precognitive responses. These studies revealed that heart rate variability, which is HRV, and coherence with brain rhythms impact perception, intuition, and even decision making. The key study, which is in Electrophysiological Evidence of Intuition, Part 1, subjects' hearts responded to randomly selected emotional stimuli 5 to 7 seconds before they appeared on screen, before the brain even knew what was coming. Your heart is picking up energy about the environment. Now, in neurocardiology, Dr. J. Andrew Amore wrote, he coined the term heart brain, discovering that the heart's intrinsic nervous system can sense, feel, learn, and what? Remember. Zikr. Remember, right? The heart sends more signals to the brain than vice versa, than the brain sends to the heart, primarily through the vagus nerve. So the heart sends more information. So if somebody is sending and somebody is receiving, who's the yang and who's the yin? But hold on. But the heart can what? Learn and remember. What did it say? What did it say? Verily in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Man, y'all can't. That's why I be telling you, you cannot touch the cosmic Quran. When we really know what we have in front of us, oh my God. Oh man, this is the most beautiful book ever. All right. My partner says it's the Bible. That's why I said, bro, we got to do something, man. We got to do the Bible and Quran. We got to do that. We need that. All right. So the heart is the one sending more signals to the brain. All right. Now, here's a verse. There's two of them. And Allah has extracted you from the wombs of your mothers, not knowing a thing. And he made you for hearing and vision and heart, i.e., intellect, that perhaps you would be grateful. Yes. Hold on. My phone went off. Let me make sure that I ain't fall offline. It is he who brought you forth from the wombs of your mothers when ye knew nothing. This is another translation. And he gave you hearing and sight and intelligence and affections that ye may give thanks to Allah. The point here is in both of these translations, heart, they are using to say it means intelligence, as if it is the mind's intelligence. So even in the Quran, they're saying, hey, the heart has intelligence. It's processing like a mind. Okay. All right. Here's a picture of the vagus nerve. You need to know this because this becomes very important for self-care and very important for the attentive lover. Want me to make it plain? Want me to make it plain? You got to understand that it told us that the signal from the heart is going up to the brain, right? So then the sacred touch to be in tune of what's going on needs to go from heart to head, right? See, once you know the anatomy and physiology and flow of the body, then that's where you start to put intentional love touch inside that motion. Follow me, because I'm about to go somewhere for the rest of my days. I'm telling you, I'm about to go somewhere for the rest of my days. I said it at the, at the gala last year. They said in closing, what you working on next? I said, love. I got to figure it out. I got to love deeper. I want to go to the most deep end I can possibly go, right? All right, so listen, because that triggers something. When you understand your abdominal cavity, colon, transcending colon, ascending colon, the way poop comes up and over and then down, you need to get if you get a massage in the reverse action, mind you, on the transverse colon, fecal matter is going across the top of what we call the top of the stomach before it goes into the descending colon. If I'm rubbing your colon, your transcending colon, the opposite way in which your feces flow, I'm keeping you full of shit, is what I'm doing, right? So once we know how the body flows and we start to get in rhythm with that flow, then all should be love. Okay. You got it. But you get my point. You do the touch with the flow. This is why I teach in the Sunday class in the Golden Heart. There's a certain way that we're supposed to apply a certain oil on our hearts, because the way that the blood flows into the heart, the left side, they don't flow the same. They do not flow the same. So you have to be very cognizant. And this is exactly why massage therapists have to go to school. You just can't go touching on people. And you shouldn't just let people touch on you. Okay? All right. So get creative and understand the flow. All right. So let's talk about the wave for a second, because this is really the heartbeat. Yes. All of creation. This wave is every single where, like electricity is in the air everywhere. Well, science has finally figured out and said, hey, the wave is infinite. But I noticed when it slows down to about 30, millimeters or nanometers or whatever, hey, it's a radio wave. But when it speeds up, it comes a microwave that you can cook food with. Can you cook food with a radio wave? No, the wave is too long, it's too slow. It needs to be sped up a tad bit to turn it into a microwave. And then when you speed that up, you can turn the infrared and you can see energy fields. And then we come into the visible spectrum of light of what we can see, which is broken down in nanometers. And when we look at the visible light broken into nanometers, we say, hey, when the wave is going at 700 nanometers, it's red. And as it decreases, which means it's really increasing in speed, but when it decreases in number, it starts to turn orange, and then yellow, and then green, then blue, then violet. And then it goes ultraviolet and we can't see it again. And then it vibrates so fast, it turns into X-rays where we can see through your body. And then it turns so fast to its gamma rays and it's poof, it's gone. We can't see it again. But that wave is infinite throughout the universe, throughout creation. That wave, man, that's what in mystical Islam, that's what you call Allahu, the who. Okay. Now, what a coincidence. This is our Milky Way galaxy. Literally, as a solar system, we're just a speck of dust in one of those rings going around the Milky Way galaxy. And there is a radio wave coming from the Milky Way galaxy. I ain't lying. Sagittarius A, a compact radio source. That's what it says. There's a radio wave. A wave. Radio wave. Radio means information, sound. There's something being said from the center of our galaxy. Okay? So when that wave comes into human form and slows down and condenses into matter, various forms of matter, what's the first organ to develop? The heart. As it should be, because the heart is nothing more than a manifestation of the wave. It's the wave operator. It's the drum major. Okay? The first thing to develop is the heart. About to give instruction to build a brain. So the Quran says, O mankind, there has come to you instruction from your Lord in healing, right? What is in the breast and guidance and mercy for the believers. So now let's get into the healing. What is it? So I got to go to one of my favorite surahs, Surah 10, Alif Lam Ra. These are the verses of the wise book. And I'm going to always say, what do you mean? They ain't letting the imams off the hook with this. What do you mean these are the verses of the wise book? 3 letters? Verses of the wise book. I'll say it again till I'm blue in the face. Wisdom means information. Information is words. Words are letters. So I get that. But now, if these are 3 distinct letters, you have to tell me what keywords do they fall up under? Like, what rules what? If I say fire, does Alif Lam Ra deal with fire? One of them may, the other one may not. Like, tell me what is the letter's authority? What things can I put under the Aleph, the Lam, the Ra? Do women fall up under that? Do men fall up under that? What's up? But my point is, the Quran is showing us that, there's a mystical science in the letters and understanding words. That's clear with this verse right here. Clear, okay? All right. So when you look at the word for healing, right? Shifā, right? You see it says healing, right? Shifā. Shifā, when we break down the 3 letters, the shin represents fire. It even looks like a fire flame. All right. They say seen, and I say shin because in Hebrew, where the Arabic come from, y'all copy from us, is shin. All right. So that's fire. Fire represents transformative energy, spiritual illumination. The fa, also known as the pe in Hebrew, represents the mouth and the power of words. And the ya is the divine hand of guidance, being directed on the right path, also known as the spark of light, right? So we're talking about something that is going to be a fiery process. Now, I know this, and I didn't put it here. The fa in the middle, which represents the mouth, corresponds to the planet Mars. So now we got fire, which is the scene, or what's called shin, right? So wait a minute, fire, Mars. Does not Mars rule Aries, which is a fire sign? Is not Mars nature very fiery? So the healing process may take some burning, right? Burning, kind of like you get cut and you put alcohol on it. I remember back in the day, you used to put that red iodine. Man, that used to burn like crazy, right? It's gonna take some burning. The healing may take some burning, right? It's a transformative process, right? So Mars is anger. What are things that make you angry? Right? I know what make me angry. Without a shadow of a doubt. I know what make me angry. And I know who make me angry, right? And so you got to burn that out, right? So setting yourself up on the path when you can identify, just look at the word. You can identify the things that is of a shin and fa, fire and mar. That's agitation. What is this aspect of agitation that's in my life? Right now, if you can say, well, I got a knee problem. Okay, well, shin, fire, simply represents activity. Mars means get up and go. I ain't trying to meditate. I got to get up and go. It's very physical, right? So because remember, fire represents action and activity. So does Mars, right? So then it's like, okay, it's a double principle of becoming active. That's the key. Now, here's another thing, because fa is the mouth. It's the power of words. And I'm going to show you what the power of words can do when it comes to healing, right? Now, the word healing occurs in the Quran, this word, only 6 times. Only 6. Now, I showed you the first letter representing fire, right? Well, how about this? The word for illuminated, shining light, flashes, glow, right? Dia, right? Or adia, right? It appears 6 times in the Quran. That appears, right? Now, what about this? And he created the jinn from a smokeless flame. Smokeless flame appears how many times? 6 times in the Quran. 6. So what you just saw was healing, shining light, smokeless flame. You know what that looks like in real time? Listen, man, alhamdulillah, I am blessed. I have been blessed to have been in the company of these great people. All besides the first one on the left, because he was deceased, but I was introduced to him from his through I was introduced to his works, right? The other 2 I personally know, okay? And so a healing, shining light, smokeless flame. And I told you healing starts off with the letter shin, which represents a light, because it's fire, but it's a transformative light that ultimately starts in our own consciousness, in which, for me, I'm going to say, you must take the thought alone and direct it to the heart, to impregnate the heart from that, and then start moving from there. That's what we do in our Sunday joint. Like, how do we center this and start moving from here? Because the moment that you really understand what this is, and we have this, I'm gonna tell you, life will truly be fulfilled. I got some mind-blowing stuff. I just ain't telling nobody right now. But it's some things going on, and I absolutely have the opposite side of the rhythm, right? Well, you got a little bit of that, you know what I mean? So this is what the light looks like. A healing, shining light of a smokeless flame. That's a smokeless flame. I call her mother. That's Mother Shantae, right? I'm gonna always show these pictures because, listen, if we have the ability to start transcending physicality, the woman is transparent in the picture. The camera is like, yo, I think you here, but I don't think you here, right? You want to talk about vibration. You want to talk about your energy, right? This is some of the highest form that you're going to see in real life. This ain't going over to India, going on Google Images and get stuff. I'm telling you a real life person who you seen me interview on this channel before, right? That's what it looks like, right? So Shin Fa Ya really represents you going through these stages, us going through these stages. Go from egg to the caterpillar, then we go into this nice cocoon, and then we come out something totally new. It's a transformational process. A transformational process. Okay. Now, let's deal with the word. Let's talk about the word, since Fa deals with the mouth and healing. Let me blow this up. Heart rate responses to synthesize effective spoken words. A study published in Advances in Human Computer Interaction investigated how brief synthesized spoken words with emotional content affect heart rate responses. Participants were exposed to positive, neutral, and negative words, and their heart rates were monitored. The findings revealed that, and then keep on going, but you'll see the next highlight in bold, negative words cause the most significant and prolonged heart deceleration, indicating a strong physiological response. Negative words is decreasing the heart. This deceleration persisted longer than the responses to positive or neutral words, suggesting that negative language has more of a substantial impact on heart function. Y'all hear this shit? What? Whoa. Time out. Negative words affect the heart for a longer period of time than positive words. Damn. That's deep. But I say it all the time. Gravity, when things got mass, weight go downhill, it accelerates. Because you're going with gravity. So when you down, the frown is down, and when you up, you smile, and then you fighting uphill. Happiness is almost really psychologically an uphill battle. It's almost kind of hard to do. This is why you have to get to a state of peace, because you just can't really make yourself. You got to get to a state in a lifestyle of peace. That's one of the reasons Shantae got it. She got it because I shouldn't say this. She ain't got no man bothering her, right? That happened. You ain't got no man, you ain't got no woman bothering you. If y'all ain't on the same page, then you got to deal with it. You got to know how to deal with it. But it's not, you can't be all messed up in the same space. You can't. It's going to be hard to attain peace. I'm telling you. All right. So the negative words are having an effect on the heart at a much longer rate than positive words, right? The results align with the defense cascade model, which posits the negative stimuli trigger and heighten autonomic response, preparing the body for potential threats. Okay. So words are affecting the heart. You know what the Quran says? And do not pursue that of which you have no knowledge. Indeed, the hearing, the sight, and the heart, about all those, this one says, one will be questioned. That is a misinterpretation. Let's read Brother Yusuf Ali. Pursue not that of which thou hast no knowledge, for every act of hearing or of seeing or of filling in the heart will be inquired into on the day of reckoning. That also is a misinterpretation. Ain't no filling in. I'm going to show you the word for word translation. Indeed, the hearing and the sight and the heart, all those will be questioned. Hello? Ain't no one. Indeed, the hearing and the spirit and the heart. I'm sorry, the hearing and the sight and the heart, all those will be questioned. Okay? So we may hear this verse as, oh, don't pursue stuff you don't have a knowledge of. That's one way to interpret that. Don't pursue stuff you don't have a knowledge of, right? Don't pursue things that you don't know is messing up your heart. In other words, if you don't know how the thing affects you, hello, let me look at you. If you don't know how the thing affects you, then you're neutral and you shouldn't look because you don't even know that you could be affected. And you can be. If you know how it affects you, then go for it. Right? You know, because we crazy, man. We crazy. Hey, listen, we got to admit we crazy because we don't want to be certified saints, right? Like certified saints go live in a monastery, don't live in life no more. And that's all we do is live in a monastery and read scripture all day and pray all day. That's it. I'm never coming out my masjid, my monastery on spiritual grounds. I'm never coming out. I'll get there one day in this life, inshallah, right? Because it's in me, in a sense, to go on spiritual retreat for sure, right? But there's an aspect of us in the West, we want what we call balance. In the masjid, they're going to say the dunya, the world. You want some drama. You need BMF, right? Talk to me. I need Raising Canaan, right? I need it. I ain't going to lie about it. I need it. Come from it. I be seeing, watching. It's a weird balance. But you do get to a point when you know how things affect you and you have to remain in control of your perception as you're viewing the thing and not allowing yourself to become emotionally engaged / discharged into the negative, i.e., like the news programming, MSNBC has my father. Oh, y'all did a good job on that dude. Y'all got him. Ain't nothing bring him out of MSNBC. Ooh, I don't know. What that need to be studied. The Democratic news programming need to be studied because boy, they got him hook, line, and sinker. All right. So you got to learn how to engage from a place where I call it compassionate detachment, where your emotions are not affected. You don't go into a state of depression. There's certain things I just won't watch. Did you see such and such get killed? No, I heard about it. I saw it on the headline, but I ain't click it. You ain't see the video? No, I ain't see the video. I am not impregnating my if once I know the fact and you say homeboy got smoked, why do I need to go watch dude get his head cut off? Like for what? I don't have to watch that. You already told me what happened. When you told me, my mind already, and I made this word up, pictualized, it created the image of the event. I'm not about to go look at that and reinforce that into my conscious. See, listen, I'm so sensitive that whatever I watch, especially if it's at night, I mess around and I dream about it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful what you impregnate your mind with, because once it get in the subconscious, you're gonna have a battle getting that up out of there. It's gonna be a fight. I'm telling you that right now. All right. So Patreon, we about to really turn the corner. Give me May. We about to really get focused on Venus, the Venus key. The Venus key. That's the key. And I've been knowing this is the key. Man, sometimes you just know, you know what I'm saying? But you got to wait for certain pieces of the puzzle to come together. And sometimes it involves knowledge, sometimes it involves people, sometimes it involves what we just call divine timing. You got to wait for certain pieces of the puzzle to come together, right? So the Venus key, we about to do a whole lot of love then. Self and others. Okay? Because Venus is not just the feminine. Venus, although feminine, absolutely positively rules the cosmic, our reality of marriage and relationships. Hands down. Hands down. What I'm gonna say, y'all. In the heavens and earth is your provisions and everything promised to you. You keep saying it every week. In the heavens and the earth is your provisions and everything promised to you. Okay, well, my marriage, because it's something that's there. Yeah, it's called Venus. The Venus key. Venus is the love. It's the appreciation. It's companionship. it's good food, it's fine taste, it's social events. Venus is a Sunday, Friday where you go get beautified and you go out on date night and be romantic as you possibly can. I'm going to keep saying it till I'm blue in the face. If you're in a relationship, never, to the best of your ability, miss Friday at sunset. And if you get a little bit more technical, Venus at sunset. Well, when I say Venus at sunset, Venus going down in the west. Because sometimes Venus can go down first and then the sun goes down afterward. So when you see sunset, Venus already set. But as the most obvious marker, you never want to miss sunset. Face the west, get with your partner, express love, gratitude, all those good things, the visions, the goals. This is a time of what? Harmony. Okay, that region of space, the western portion of the sky, that's what Venus naturally rules, that section of the space. That over there, the west. The stuff is now mapped out. Only thing we have to do is live it. I'm here to show it. Boom, that's that. Okay, do XYZ. Boom. And this is why when we get testimonials start coming like, oh, bro, I did this, and boom. Yeah, it's the law. All right. It's the law. All right. So do not miss it. That's just why I'd like to challenge you on the Patreon to, hey, pray how you pray. But if you get an app, Islamic app, a prayer app, then you're gonna get a notification. And you're gonna get a notification for the Maghrib prayer, where it's a sunset prayer. Soon as the sun is on the western horizon, time to pray. And look at the beauty of that. I'm telling y'all, the seventh house, western sky, represents relationships. I'm telling you, without shadow of a doubt, when the sun sets, that is the fourth prayer of the day for Muslims. Okay, so that's the timeline right there that you are to reinforce your divine relationship. You don't have one, imagine it. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? Got to imagine before you have it sometimes. All right. All right. So any questions? We good? Leon, what up, bro? Sometimes you can watch a program and rewrite the script as you're watching it. Yeah, absolutely. Like, no, that ain't happened. This happened. You know what I'm saying? Because the brain don't know. The only thing the brain know is what it sees. So whatever you say is real is real. It don't know the difference between what's false. It views everything as being real. And then the brain has something called mirror neurons, where brain cells will start mirroring the thing that it sees. And this is why you can start hanging around certain people and y'all pick up certain things from one another. You start mirroring certain things and whatnot. So that's a fact. You know what I mean? That's a fact, man. There's some studies. I'm gonna start putting them in the Patreon too that deal with positive script writing and the effect that it had. And when I saw, I was like, but see, this is exactly why we do the roomie. You know what I'm saying? Which I need to make a flyer. We came up with an idea. Actually, Michael came up with the idea to get a little bit more active on the roomie post, where once a month we cam up and it's roomy. So you gotta, it's nighttime, so it's candles and whatnot. And you just do your favorite roomie one, the one that you spoke, stick out the most from month to month. Just because that script writing that we practice, we supposed to be writing in a roomie journal. If y'all know what I'm talking about. In the Patreon, what I do is I make a post. Now I drop them on Sundays. I drop a post on Sunday, and then we are to write about that post. Just build on it, in your own words. You know what I mean? What it means to you and whatnot. That positive script writing does something not only for the mind, it does something for the heart. It's reformatting some things. All right. So we about to break that out. All right. All right. Fourth prayer, Alicia V. What up? What up? Fourth prayer, fourth chakra. Yeah. Yep. So yeah. So we good? All right, man. The power of words. The power of words. We saw the effect of it. Blessing water as we say, bless the water, things of that nature. Words of healing, words of expansion. That's why I say, man, I wish I would. I ain't gonna tell y'all that. But there's attributes where you can focus on these things: expansion, light, love. One of my favorite, one of my absolute, it ain't one of my, it has become definitely my number one favorite name to chant is Wadud. Wadud is like David, Dawood, beloved, or the loving one, love, right? To really chant that, you know what I mean? For me, I got to know what the letters look like, and then I see the letters, and then I'm writing the letters as I'm chanting it and whatnot. And you can get really, really creative with this, because I'm gonna share something with y'all. Like, if you really know your own birth chart, and you say, for example, like I told y'all, the western sky represents relationships ruled by Venus, and Venus is the planet of love, by the way. And I said the Arabic name Wadud means love. Then, when Venus is in the western sky, and Venus, since it deals with love, which is an expression of the heart, we never say this is the expression of love. Never. We always say this. Even when you point at yourself, hey man, who are you? Point at yourself. We don't never be like this. We point right here. That's what we do, right? So if we know this is love, that's the portion of this. Hey babe, I need to turn you around. We need to right there. And then we can chant together Al Wadud. You see what I'm saying? It's just whatever rhythm we want to get into, right? And so, like Elisha put in the chat, she said, yeah, like the fourth chakra, as they call it, when you start understanding the energy centers on the spine, right here, right? And then even if its color is green, today is Friday, Venus Day, green, gold, right? It's the leprechaun day. You know what I'm saying? Church, Magic Pimp Don Juan with the green and gold, right? So, but now you can start infusing the color therapy inside of what you're doing to be in accordance with the law. You see what I'm saying? And what a coincidence, for sure, the green and gold has always been the Quran or the Islamic colors, because green is qadr, is really, it's a really special thing in Islam, if you understand it, right? All right. So get jiggy with it. Find your words that you can use for, that you need to use for healing, right? And sit your butt down and go within self, meaning your prayer, your meditation, visualization, whatever it is that you do. All right. See y'all later. If you ain't in Patreon, get in Patreon. What you waiting on? All right. Peace.